Kitchen is one of the most important parts in interior design. So let's go practical about how exactly to build kitchen. You can create a very outstanding kitchen, but it depends on how much information you have, how much information about details, nuances and other aspects. I've created a lot of kitchens and when I make my projects, I always keep in my head a lot of details, nuances, which I want to share with you, and it will help you actually to build better and more decent kitchen, because more information you have, the better result you will get. So we will go through all the key moments which help you to build a better kitchen. So we'll start from fridge. Fridge can be standalone and built-in in kitchen cabinet. So the difference is that standalone kitchen have more capacity, you can fit more groceries there, but at first you need additional gaps from each side and above the fridge to make ventilation go properly. Because these standalone fridges are designed to be standalone items, so they have that ventilation valves on the back. Also, standalone fridges are bigger, and one unit of that fridge will be bigger in depth, so you cannot place it in one line with other kitchen cabinets. And also, for better ventilation, you cannot place it very close to the wall. So if the regular kitchen cabinet has a depth of 60 centimeters, the standalone fridge will be bigger in depth and sometimes in width. So at first you need to choose the exact model of that fridge, because they are not the same, and after that to design considering that measurements. But it has more capacity than built-in fridge. But speaking of built-in fridge, it goes as a part of kitchen, so it installs inside the tall kitchen cabinet, so it will look very elegant, and it has precise size. So it goes 60 by 60 and the height will be 200 centimeters. If you need extra capacity, you can place two fridges side by side and the capacity of fridges will be doubled. And of course it is more easy to build a layout knowing the precise sizes of kitchen cabinets in which you will place the fridge. Countertops might be very different considering the material. So the most popular countertop is particle board. It is the classic countertop which is laminated, which has the thickness of 4 centimeters. These 4 centimeters, let's say, not so elegant, but it is the cheapest option. These countertops have less resiliency to water and of course no resiliency to fire, and it cannot be seamless in order to create L-shaped kitchen or U-shaped kitchen. The next is acrylic stone, and it is quite better and quite more expensive. It is more resilient to water, it can be 2 centimeters in thickness, so it is more elegant. It has a lot of colors and textures, but these textures will be smaller, so you cannot have a texture for marble, let's say. So it is perfect for middle price. It has resilience, it has elegant look, and it might be seamless in order to create L-shaped or U-shaped kitchen. The next countertop, which I consider as the best, is quartz stone or Decton. Yes, it is the most expensive, but I believe it's worth it because it is very robust, it is very resilient. It's resilient to water and fire and also to knives and all the minor effects. It has various textures, and in that case you can make it in marble effect, so with big texture. It is seamless within a slab of 300 by 140 centimeters. And also it can be even thinner than acrylic stone, so the thickness might be 1.2 centimeters, which makes the look of the kitchen is more elegant. With sinks, they could be standard, which placed on top of a countertop, or let's say not standard, which installed below the countertop. The difference is about cleaning and elegant look, because it is more convenient to clean the countertop when you have your sink below and you can just swipe all the chips in that sink and you will never have any dirt below the border of a sink. Standard sink can be installed in any countertop. Meanwhile, this one, which installed below, can be installed only with acrylic stone or quartz stone or Decton. Cooktop can be standard electrical or gas. It is easy to maintain, it is the cheapest, but you need to be aware of the heat. It is not so convenient in cleaning and it is quite dangerous for kids. The next one is induction. It is better, I guess it is the best. So with induction, it heats not the surface, it heats the cookware. So it is quite safe for kids and it is easier to clean. Also, it needs a little bit space underneath the countertop to have that structural part, that magnetic elements which goes underneath. Another one is a cooktop with integrated ventilation, and it is one of the most fascinating kitchen fixtures. You can place it on kitchen island, you don't need additional hood above, and its ventilation is very efficient, but it is the most expensive. But if you take the different parts, the induction plus a hood, it might be more expensive than one item, a cooktop with integrated ventilation. Now let's speak about face items materials. By face items I mean that item, the doors and every item you actually see, not the structural, not the cabinets, not the inner parts. So it might be particle board, it is the cheapest, but very limited in variations in colors and textures. It is laminated, which is not very eco, let's say, and it can't have any insets, so it might be the doors might be only flat. The next is MDF, and it is quite better, it is more resilient. You can use wood veneer or you can paint it with enamel or even you can cover it with stone veneer. It lasts longer but more expensive. What about door opening? It can be with classic handles, it is very convenient, very cheap, except the custom ones, and it is very easy to install. Handles might be integrated, it is when you have some kind of a cut inside the door. It applied only with MDF doors, but in this case doors goes in the line, so you don't have any handles that go outside the kitchen cabinets, so it has more expensive look. The next one is Gola profile, and I consider it as one of the best. It has that aluminum profile and the opening goes by pulling the door. It can be horizontal to open the lower cabinets or it can be vertical to open the fridge or other tall cabinets. Also we have push to open, when you push actually to open the cabinet. It is very convenient for upper cabinets and for tall cabinets, let's say above and below the oven and microwave. But you cannot make it with dishwasher. Actually you can, but this hardware will cost a lot. It is very expensive to make push to open for a dishwasher and for a fridge. But speaking of upper cabinets, one of the best options to open the upper cabinets is to make your doors 2 centimeters longer and you create that offset, so to open the door you can actually take the door and pull it. So what about backsplash? Backsplash can be from ceramic tiles, porcelain tiles, quartz stone, Decton, and also you can create LED light wall. Ceramic tiles are cheap and very small. Porcelain tiles are bigger, more robust and a little bit more expensive, but any tiles are very cheap in a way of backsplash. Quartz stone or Decton are one of the best. You can create your backsplash with the same texture as your countertop. It is very robust, it is very resilient, and of course it is very expensive. LED light wall is one of the hardest to install and to maintain. You need to think about where you can place sockets. You can place it in the upper cabinets, but it has an absolute stunning look. Hood can be standalone. It's a classic hood what you saw a lot. It is efficient, but it is placed separately from kitchen cabinets, so it goes as standalone item, and it is not easy to make it in one style and to make kitchen look more coherent. The next hood is which built in upper cabinets, and it is one of the best. It is very cheap, not all the models, but you can have a cheap hood. With that hood you can actually use the upper cabinets because it takes not all the space above. So particularly you can use that upper cabinet in which you install built-in hood for some storage. The next hood is inside a cooktop, which I mentioned before. It is very efficient. The thing is that this hood is closer to a pot or to a frying pan, so it is closer to the source of vapor and any smells. And the next one is the most expensive. It is the hood which built inside a countertop. It can look hidden, but it needs additional space below. It is better to install in kitchen island. You need to have more depth and more space for it. And here are some advices about ergonomics. When you create a layout for your kitchen, you need to consider the order. So at first it goes fridge, after it goes sink, and after that it goes a cooktop. So the order is you put out the groceries from the fridge, you put it next to sink, you wash it, you put it next, and after that you cook. So the order is like this. Also try to place the sink closer to the main drain to make the process of water goes to the drain more convenient. And place a dishwasher right next to the sink, but from the side the opposite from the drain. So it goes like if you have from the left your main drain, so you will have fridge, after that you will have sink, and only after you have a dishwasher. And all the connections for dishwasher, drain connections and water connections should be not behind the dishwasher but behind it in the cabinet with sink, because there is no space. The dishwasher have no space, it leaves no space behind. So a socket for a dishwasher and all the pipes and drains go not behind the dishwasher but next to it. And if you have a L-shaped or U-shaped kitchen, don't place dishwasher next to the corner because it will be very non-convenient to use it. And what about distances? Consider the distance between kitchen and kitchen island or dining table as minimum as 120 centimeters. Also try minimum of 60 centimeters between a sink and a cooktop, so to have a space to actually prepare the food. Also 60 centimeters minimum between a countertop and upper cabinets. And also you need 1 centimeter of gap between upper cabinets and ceiling to have the ability to hang that upper cabinets. And I've also created a guide in PDF, so the link will be in the description below or in the first comment. I don't know exactly how it works, so you can use that guide with that checklist for designing your kitchen. I hope it was useful, and if you want to support my new channel, you can hit the like button, tap subscribe, and to share your opinion about this video in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.